Hello, all my little bun buns. Daisy here with you tonight, and we're gonna have a thought on a TV show. It's a more recent one too. Not too recent. It's been out for 4-ish years now. Uh, and that'll be Fuller House. Now, as a child, I remember Full House being one of the first uh, sitcom type shows that I really sat down and got to enjoy. It was that and Perfect Strangers. Friday nights, I always would look forward to both of those shows. They really touched with me. I really attached with them early on, and I was sad when both of them did end because they were pretty important to my weekend. The beginning of my weekend there is start with those shows. Yes, other shows came and went. Nothing else really had quite the spark as those two. Family Matters was good at first until the Urkel invasion, and then it became his show, and it wasn't as good. Um, Step by Step, which was basically a new version of Brady Bunch, wasn't as good. Dinosaurs was okay, but it wasn't the same. I remember some medieval show. I can't remember anything about it. A few other things came and started in that window, but nothing else really stuck as an important part of a Friday evening like those two did. And a few years ago, Netflix came out with Fuller House, which was basically as if time had kept passing after Full House, and we were just this many years later. Um, most of the characters actually came back to at least do cameos, if not be main parts of the show. It began starring two of the three girls that were of the main family. And Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen did not come back to be Michelle ever. And quite a few times they joked about how Michelle would never come and be on the show and never would come visit. And they really wish she would. I don't know what the actual deal was with the two actresses, but apparently they did not want to be part of this mess. Uh, Granted, they were stuck doing a lot of movies, straight to video mostly movies, after the Full House, even when it was still running and after it ended. And I think they were sick of being on film by the time it was done because I saw people review them, and the later ones, they just feel, it just looks like they look dead in their faces as they're forced to go through the motions here. I can kind of understand. But we still had the older two girls, and the neighbor girl, Kimmy Gibbler, came back to be main portions of this show. And it involves the older daughter, DJ's family. She had a husband who died. He was a firefighter, I think, if I remember right. He's gone before the show starts, so it's not like it's a big point of what his world was like because he's not there. Uh, and she had three boys, um, one of which is still in baby form as the show starts. So it kind of has a similar vibe as the original show did, because now we have three women living in a house raising three boys at about the same age rates. This could be good, and to be honest, I feel it was. We also had Kimmy's daughter from her divorced husband moving in with them as well. So we had three boys and one girl living in the same house that the original Full House happened in. Uh, we have plot as to how and why all this goes down. We get a lot of good cameos, and I don't even, it's hard to say cameos when they're on as often as they are, from the original dad parent peoples, especially. We have um, Danny and Joey and Jesse showing up often, and at least once that Jesse's twin boys from the original show did show up, the same actors, and wow, they grew up well. Because, they were just practically toddlers at the very end of the whole original show, and they did develop nicely. They turned into nice looking adults. Uh, Joey apparently gets kids and a wife. Um, Jesse eventually adopts a kid, which is interesting. Uh, and well, Aunt Becky was on the first 3 seasons, and then her actress did some naughty things and kind of went to prison, as far as I know, from bribing colleges to let her kids be in. So she was not. They kind of wrote her out, and anytime she was mentioned after that, she was out of town with a wink and a smile. Similar to how they were reacting to why Michelle would never show up for things like the big Thanksgiving or whatever. Uh, Overall, the stories were definitely made me feel the original series, which makes a big difference. But without feeling like it was just straight up 80s, it felt like these characters had grown up then, and then this is now for them. It felt like they were now in the current now, as much as the original them was in the then now. Uh, this adds a little extra flair to it because as I was a kid and so was my sister at the same time. Yeah, hey, go figure. My sister and I, who were born 2 years apart, we were both kids at the same time. Shocker. We were actually pretty close to the age of DJ when the show started. I'm not sure exactly how old we were when it started or how old she was supposed to be, but at the point of starting the show, we were actually similar aged. So it felt connected, felt relatable. And now feeling grown up them at our same ages again, uh, it was really surreal to connect to this. Them interacting with the now world, them interacting the same way they did back then, only they're doing it with current ways things are. Really interesting. Uh, I can definitely say all 4 seasons are worth a watch, especially if you did get into the original Full House. It was fun. They're all on Netflix, so just pop your Netflix on, hit play, and go to town. Enjoy yourself. Uh, I was expecting to be disappointed. I really was expecting to hate it, but I didn't. I flat out loved it. I had a great time. I felt like all the characters were giving it their all. It didn't feel like it was a straight to not TV mess, which is what I was expecting. It felt like it should have been on regular TV, but since regular TV is less a thing now and streaming media is more the thing, it really worked well. They sold themselves. They blew it out of the water. It was great. So yeah, uh, if you got some time and you're bored, still stuck inside with the pandemic, whip on some Netflix. Have yourself some Fuller House. Uh, I don't think you'll be too sad. Get a good bunch of giggles, characters you actually might attach to again, and new characters that really hit home. All the characters basically have development through the thing. I don't feel like anybody's just stagnant and boring. Even the adult males from the original show have development in this, as they're even as side characters who aren't there every day. They develop. Everybody progresses. Everybody learns. Everybody gets better through the show. Everybody feels better. So, yeah. Well, I have yammered on about this for long enough. I had a good time myself. So now there's the fun part where you get to interact back. The comments section. Please, let me know. Did you watch the original when it was out, Full House? Did you watch Fuller House? Are you going to watch it now after hearing what I had to say about it? Comment section. Let me know. How do you feel about it if you did watch either or both of these shows? Did you feel a good connection to either of them? Did they really set home with you? I'm not ashamed to say I attached to both of them, and I was sad when I found out it ended. But I'd rather show end and tell what it wanted to tell than go on for like a dozen more years and just kind of be Urkeled. Can't do that to us again. Can't do that to us again. Anyway, hit the like, subscribe, little dingly bell for the dingly bell to let you know when I post new videos. And my Patreon link is in the description box below, if you're so inclined. But I appreciate every view I get. You're all wonderful little bunny fluffs, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. So, keep being pink and fluffy. Keep watching your old TV shows and your remake series and whatnots, and I'll be here. I'll see you again tomorrow. Well, some part of me will see you tomorrow, because I'm not out of videos yet. Mwah.